Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another 5K tennis discussion. This is Check Microphone 1, 2. What is this? Initial episode with the new microphone, and we are reaching out to all of you to find out if our microphone is better than we have ever been before.
Okay.
All right. How does our microphone do? Do you think our microphone will be better?
I don't know. It's up to the viewers, right? Their opinion counts. It's not ours. Our opinion doesn't count as theirs.
Well, we've had a lot of feedback about the audio, and we have invested in a microphone. Nothing incredibly nice, but nonetheless, we have a microphone. So we are looking forward to the initial results from our initial poll question with our new microphone. Poll question: does our microphone sound better, the same, or worse than it ever has before? Okay?
Oh, wow.
All right, so
what a poll.
So what do you think, Carla? Are you excited about our new microphone?
No, I feel the same way.
Oh, I don't know.
But again, our opinion doesn't count. It's the viewers. They're the ones that are watching.
All right. With our new microphone intact, it is Friday, March the 15th, 2019, and we are still very early in our 2019 ATP and WTA seasons. And we are here for our 47th show. That would be 47.
47. Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
How are you fans feeling out there? We're getting another, how they would say, Nadal match.
Nadal?
I never think of it that way. I always say Federer and Nadal. So it'll be you against me.
Carla and I will have a very fun time tomorrow when we're on separate sides of the house rooting for Federer, myself, and Nadal.
Yeah.
Carla.
Usually Christopher is the Djokovic fan, so he's usually rooting for Djokovic, but since he lost to Kohlschreiber, then Jonathan is usually in the middle. He usually doesn't say much. He just watches us and laughs.
Now, she is speaking about two of our oldest,
yes,
5 children,
yes,
Jonathan being our 16-year-old,
yes,
Christopher being our 14-year-old, Jonathan being...
He likes them all. So
he likes them all.
And Christopher really pick.
Christopher loves Djokovic. So tomorrow should be an interesting day between Carla, myself, Jonathan, Christopher, and I think the rest of our kids.
And then Lily is a die-hard Serena fan. So she really probably be rooting for Nadal, since she can relate more to him. Even though she has a one-handed backhand, she should relate to Roger Federer. I don't think you need to get on top of the microphone.
I love this new microphone.
It's not karaoke, so.
I like karaoke, though. I'm a karaoke champion. I beat you every time.
Not true. He doesn't sing very well.
What do you sing when we sing karaoke?
Many different songs. I sing a lot of love songs, a lot of heartfelt songs, where he sings a lot of
rap,
cheesy and rap songs. Yeah.
Okay, we'll see how that goes if we do another karaoke.
And I sing in 2 languages, where he sings only in 1. So.
Yeah, but my 1 language is dominant than your 2 because I am a karaoke king.
I think we all tend to laugh at you, but it's okay.
All right, moving forward with the new microphone. We will place a link above in case you missed our last show. And again, I say link. It should pop up above saying suggested videos. If it does not, it's probably that you're viewing this off of a platform that flashes the suggested link above, right?
Yes.
Anyway, if you missed the link above, you can just go to our YouTube channel and you can look for the show that was downloaded just before this one.
Right.
All right. Real quickly, a big, monumental, huge shout out, much love and respect to everyone in New Zealand at this point in time. All jokes aside, I know we have a good time here, but a brief moment of silence for everyone in New Zealand that has had to watch or to even think about what transpired there in terms of a mass shooting that unfortunately we have to deal with this day and time in which we live. So real quick, a few seconds, moment of silence for all those in New Zealand. And again, we have a good time here, positive energy, but what transpires or what goes down in people's heads when we have things like this transpire, it is beknownst to me. I can't even put it into words. But the lovely part about tennis is that it doesn't matter where you are from, how big you are, how small you are, what flag you fly, what the color of your skin is, what your size is, what your weight is. As tennis players and tennis enthusiasts, I think that we all like to shake hands at the net and be thankful that we are on the same court with one another or on the same channel with one another so we can express our thoughts, right?
Yes, definitely. Plus, we had a lot of good comments yesterday, you know? There was not too many comments, but there was a few viewers. We did a video yesterday about the youngster,
Kekmanovic,
and they gave us a few ideas or their thoughts on why a lot of Serbian players play in U.S., Spain, or other European countries. So there was a lot of good comments there.
Yeah.
And from what I learned from reading some of those comments were that a lot of them are wealthy and they do come to the U.S., you know, and they do a lot of scouts. I know Millennium 13 Constantine said that a lot of scouts actually go out and look for them. So not their fault.
Well, yes, and Carla is diverting to...
And there's no infrastructure. I think Sergeant
Jovanovic, yeah.
Yeah, he said there's no infrastructure in Serbia, so none of the Serbian players actually train in Serbia.
Carla and I were discussing yesterday, and quite verbally, why is it that we have a lot of international players that train here for, and that being in the United States, for long periods of time. We hear about them, but we hear about them from their native, I guess, locations. In this sense, with Kekmanovic, he is the young man that faced off yesterday and ended up losing.
Yes.
But why is it that if he had trained here since he was 13 and now he's 19, and yet we still represent Serbia? And I think we have a better understanding for that.
He even said NBA. He said people who play for the NBA even
Basketball.
train in the USA. So I can definitely understand that there's no infrastructure in Serbia. Which my question is, why would Novak Djokovic then put a tennis academy? Or maybe he's trying to promote tennis there. So maybe he is doing a good thing.
Yeah.
By putting a tennis academy and building a structure for tennis.
So with all the great feedback and all the great comments from yesterday, after we completed yesterday's show, we were enlightened why that this occurs. In other words, people train, men and women, train here in the United States for many, many, many years. Then they become tour level or successful pros. Why they don't fly the American flag, and we understand that a little bit better at this point. It is because in their respective countries where they come from, it's not that they don't want to train there, it's that they don't have anywhere to train there. There's only a few locations, few and far between, and court time is hard to come by.
Yes.
So they are able to come here and to solidify or to attain as much court time as they need, because there's a lot of courts, and they are able to further their careers here. So I understand that at this point. Thank you all for your feedback on that one. And we respectfully agree in the sense that if there is no infrastructure where you are and you're able to come or go anywhere to get better at the game of tennis in which we all share, then more power to you. Come and do it. I still need an answer for why we cannot seem to do the same thing for some of our American players.
I would like an answer for anyone who
I would love an answer to that.
There are a few of you, and I won't say your names, that do watch the show and actually have trained in these big American academies. Why is it that American juniors can't succeed as the foreigners? I would love an answer for that, as you guys are actually in the thick of things, right?
Yeah, I mean, we have coaches internationally and domestically that watch this show quite often. We won't mention names. We haven't cleared it at this point. But for those coaches internationally and domestically here in the United States that watch this show daily, why is it that we can recruit, not even necessarily recruit, but why is it that we can have international players that can come from all over just because there's more court time here and they can ultimately further their careers to become great tennis players, but yet we can't find a way to get anyone, what it seems like, at least on the male side.
I would love an answer for that, because I remember as a junior, I had a lot of opportunities, more opportunities than my kids do now. There were programs that would help out those American juniors, and now, very tough to find.
So we're going to move forward. I'm very glad that we had the discussion going. I think there was probably 20 or 30 people internationally and domestically that got into this conversation yesterday. And we understand why we tend to have people that train here for a lot of years in the United States, but still represent their own countries. But at the same time, we're still trying to understand why, with traveling excluded. You don't need to travel if you're from the United States, right? Why can't we recruit young men and women from right up the street from these facilities, where otherwise people from thousands of miles away come at the bottom of the barrel type incomes to scrounge for court time, and they're able to use that court time to make themselves champions. And also, why can't we do it here?
From my understanding, with the ITF now, they've made it more difficult for those struggling players. Yeah. Now you would have to travel far away, and I've read a lot of articles, and whereas I could go into an ITF tournament, or you could, and try to qualify to get into the main draw of a challenger, satellite, whatever it is, now you cannot do that.
There's a lot of rules changing. I think there's even lawsuits ongoing between a lot of players and parents of players that are now saying, with the new rules between the ITA and the ITF, it's almost impossible for anyone even playing challengers at this point to make it into tournaments.
Even to qualify into the main draw. Because I remember when I played, you can qualify to get into the main draw. You would just put your name in, and you would get lucky and picked, and you would go to that tournament and qualify for it to get into the main draw, which you're not winning any, by the way. Even if it's a 25, 50, 125, you're not really making any money. It's more for the points. Yeah. And they're eliminating that.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, we, I guess you could say, agree upon the fact that it is becoming harder and harder for anyone outside of extremely deep pockets and coming from extremely deeply connected facilities at this point in time, with the new rules in place, that it is even possible for he or she to get into any type of tournament that can further their career or to garnish them points, unless there's a whole lot of politicking and a whole lot of connections that are behind the scenes.
Let me say one more thing that probably I've never said to you, but I notice a lot on social media, you have a lot of foreign coaches or foreign players that send a message to an American academy, oh, please look at my student, please look at my student. And those coaches are replying and saying, oh, yes, please send me the video. Why wouldn't you go and search in American soil for those players? Why wouldn't you do that here in the USA? Why would you have to bring them from there? I don't understand that. That's another dilemma.
Do you think it's because in the U.S. today, it seems like more and more of our kids want an immediate answer by means of their cell phone or an instant Google answer? They don't want to dig deep for it. They just want to.
Maybe that could be one of them. One commentator said that tennis is not a popular sport in the USA.
Well, this is the thing.
That is true, because my kids, when they win tennis matches, in their high school, they don't even get announced that they won a match. But yet, it's not even football season. They're announcing that,
Yeah, what she's saying is our boys win tennis matches. One of our sons is 13-0 in the season. Another one is 11-2 at this point. There's no mention of it. It doesn't matter. Not that that's what we do. We're not looking for outward applause.
But even in the radio, we don't hear tennis results.
But it can be the middle of football season or basketball season, and someone can have a good practice, and we'll hear about it on the local radio.
Yes.
But when it's tennis right in the middle of the season and someone's worked really hard, namely both of our boys that won against the high school where they never won before, but there's no mention of it.
Not even our boys. I'm just saying in general, you don't even hear tennis results in high school, but you hear football, baseball, even golf. Even golf, you're here, which is ridiculous.
All right, so we're gonna move forward. By the way, Indian Wells is coming to a close.
Yes,
we have women's semifinals upcoming, and we have men's semifinals upcoming. Don't forget that we have the Miami Open beginning next week. I can't wait for that, or we cannot wait for that. That means
they have a new stadium. That it was where the Dolphins football team used to play, so I know it very well because I used to live very close.
There you go.
A few blocks away from there.
And by the way, that means that we will have prize giveaways. If you missed our prize giveaway opportunity for Indian Wells, only myself would have qualified to win. But nonetheless, I'm not here to give away or to keep my own prizes. I want to give them to you. So make sure that when the Miami Open begins, we make sure to look at our draws and to give Carla and me 3 out of 4 finalists. Give us the men's finalists and the women's finalists and both winners. And if you get 3 out of the 4 finalists and at least one winner, you will qualify to win a tennis racket. And then second place will be for whoever has the most finalists and winners approximating that will win a set of YTEX strings.
All right, well, let's talk about last night's match.
Let's go. Kerber Venus.
Number 8 seed in the tournament, Angelique Kerber from Germany defeated Venus Williams from the USA 7-6, 6-3. I figure that Angelique Kerber would be a little bit too much for Venus.
And she was.
She was. I mean, Venus is almost 39 years old. I mean, Kerber's like, what, 26, 27? She just has too much game. She's a lefty, tough to play, tough to beat. She has variety in her game. She can hit the ball hard. You know, serves better. Was serving better than Venus, in my opinion.
This was a good match. Carla and I watched this from start to finish yesterday until yesterday evening. The first set was tight. It was a tight first set. If I remember correctly, it was a 7-6 first set. After Venus lost that tiebreaker, it seemed like the desire to dig deep and to fight was still there a little bit, but not quite as much. And then Kerber took the match home to the bank. I think yesterday both of us indicated that we thought that Venus would lose the match.
Yes.
And again, I think Venus has a chance to beat anyone on any given day.
Not in clay.
Well, I'm not going to go back to that. I never said that Venus Williams would win the French Open. I simply said that you can't tell me you put Venus Williams on a court with anybody else and say that she does not have a chance to win regardless of surface. That's all I said.
Probably. One thing I noticed is when they shook each other's hand. I told Justin, when you lose, you should tell the player something, and she just smiled, and that's why she just went. And that's why I've never been a huge fan of hers, because I think she should be a little bit more emotional, a little bit more personal. At least Serena says a few words.
Yes. I mean, again, we're human beings. We're all unique. We're all different. I'm not going to say I don't like someone because they don't want to shake hands at the net the same way that you agree with.
When she wins, she goes.
Like Vanna White. Like she's playing Wheel of Fortune.
She's a princess, which no one is a princess on a tennis court.
Okay, so you're telling me you don't like Wheel of Fortune? You don't like Pat Sajak and Vanna White?
This is not a TV show game. This is tennis.
Okay, well...
This is two athletes facing each other, two gladiators. When you're done, you should lose gracefully.
She lost gracefully.
Okay, anyways.
So she didn't shake Kerber's hand well enough in the net, and therefore you don't like her?
No, she just... You can tell that, which players she likes and which she doesn't. I don't...
Mark my words, when Venus Williams wins the French Open...
Well, Serena's lost to Angelique Kerber twice, and... They had a hug and everything. Okay,
I would have figured Serena would have broken the racket across the net.
No, she lost to her at Wimbledon. Did you forget?
I didn't forget.
Okay, well, just saying. Anyways, and then we had the men's other match.
Which was supposed to have been Monfils versus Dominic Thiem.
But they never got to play. Monfils actually came out to the crowd and explained why he could not play. He retired from the match.
Said he had an Achilles tendon injury. But did we not read, Carla, that just before this match? Now we read this not terribly long ago. And by the way, let's just rewind. Monfils destroyed Philip Kohlschreiber in Germany, right?
6-0, 6-2.
6-0, 6-2. There was no sign of an Achilles tendon injury during that match or afterwards, right?
No.
So just before the Thiem Monfils match last night, just after Venus and Kerber completed, we're ready to watch it. We're primed to watch it. And then all of a sudden we get Monfils is going to come out to the crowd and tell the crowd why he couldn't compete.
He looked kind of teary.
So teary-eyed and everything. And we bought into that and still are trying to buy into it. However, today we began to read some material that indicated that at the same hotel room in which Monfils and his maybe soon bride-to-be, Svitolina, were staying at, that they had their room trounced by some police officers.
They had guns pointing at them. They heard... Apparently, they were
quite a commotion.
Yeah, they were staying at the Hyatt Regency in Indian Wells, and they heard some gunshots, and they went through several people's room, and well, they were one of the rooms.
Yeah. So what we are beginning to understand is that obviously there was no issue with Svitolina or Monfils. They were fine, but I guess there was some turmoil in this hotel, respectively. The police came a couple hours before Monfils was supposed to play, and I guess got into the hotel room and drew weapons on these two, and hands up type deal. Ultimately, they were fine. They didn't do anything wrong, but again, because there was some mischief in this hotel, they had to go through some type of traumatic event, or at least so we read. I can't tell you if it's factual or not, but I'm just telling you what we've been reading.
He just looked too good against... Well, I saw previews because I didn't watch a match. I fell asleep. But he looked, invincible.
He looked phenomenal against Cole Scriver.
So I don't get... I know he's lost to Dominic Thiem 4 times.
That's irrelevant. I'm not even worried about that. I don't know.
I know I have Big Hit International Sports said, Dominic Thiem would have beat him. I don't think so. I don't think so either. He would have beat him. Dominic Thiem hasn't been playing well. He's had his ups and downs, and really his lows this year. I don't think he has a chance against Milos Raonic.
Yeah, Raonic and Thiem play tomorrow.
Yes.
So they play tomorrow. I'm going to give Raonic and Thiem's matchup to Thiem. Only because Thiem has more variety than Raonic. Raonic is to Query, is to Opelka, is to Isner, is to Anderson.
Well, he has a few more. Justin,
he's got a little bit more ground game. So
he's got Fabrice Santoro as his coach, the two-hander on both sides.
I like Fabrice Santoro, the Italian.
Yeah.
Well,
and he's been working on his forehand volleys.
I would say Milos Raonic and the gentleman that lost today against Nadal, Karen Khachanov, I would say they're about on the same level. They have big serves and somewhat of a ground game. So they're better than Isner, Anderson, Opelka, Karlovic, Query. They're better than those guys, but just by a little bit. So because just by a little bit, I'm going to give the matchup between Raonic and Thiem to Thiem simply because he has more variety.
Well, I'm going with Raonic, whatever.
Thiem will beat Raonic. Thiem will win that match, and you're preposterous to think that Raonic is going to beat him.
I used to pick Thiem, but he has failed me so many times. And let's not forget that in Acapulco, he lost the first round. And the first round on his turf, clay. Let's not forget that. Today's matches. We had Roger Federer, the number 4 seed in this tournament from Switzerland, defeat Hubert Hurkacz from Poland. 6-4, 6-4. To me, this was not really an exciting match. I expected more fight from Hurkacz. It was kind of routine to me. Just not much excitement. I just wasn't excited to see this. I was hoping that this Polish gentleman would give him more of a battle.
Stat of the day, this was only the second match Roger Federer had ever played against a Polish tennis player. The only other Polish tennis player was Jerzy Janowicz, that actually I got to watch play Berankis in the 2007 U.S. Open final. This is great. However, Roger beat Janowicz, then I think it was like 2012, 2013, and he also took out Hurkacz today. Great showing again for Hurkacz to be here, but Federer was just too much.
It was way too much.
Way too much.
I mean, to hit a one-hander at the almost no man's land was pretty incredible. He wouldn't have been able to do that, though, against a Novak Djokovic or Rafael Nadal.
you probably lost him on that. Federer was hitting winners from the service line with this one-handed backhand.
Because of his opponent.
So Federer was hitting
opponent.
winners from the service line. In other words, no man's land, off the bounce, cross court for winners.
He wouldn't be able to do that against those two guys.
He was masterclassing it today. Federer looked really good. That's going to lead us now, though,
to a Rafael Nadal.
Nadal, Federer, semi.
Rafael Nadal, number 2 seed from Spain, defeated Karen Khachanov from Russia, 7-6, 7-6. Khachanov had many chances. It kind of looked like Rafael Nadal had his knee was bothering him a bit. He looked perturbed in the first 2 games with something, not sure. I thought maybe Khachanov could win that first set, but it did not happen. He can hit the ball hard. He can run. But really, there's no variety in his game. None.
Khachanov,
if he had a little bit of variety like Marat Safin from Russia did.
He plays a little like Safin.
But Marat Safin could come in and volley. He can't. He got past the net a lot.
Khachanov, I think, could have actually won this match again. It was a nail-biter, 7-6, 7-6. It was a good match. But
he let him back in.
At the tightest of moments, and as you just said perfectly, coming to the net, approach shots, and so forth.
Was not a good thing for him today.
Some of the shots that he would approach on, he would come right up the middle, and the approach shot wasn't that great. It would leave both passing lanes wide open, especially for...
And don't attack Nadal's forehand as you're approaching. He practices that shot.
Yeah.
Go to the backhand side, which is the shorter side, which tends to land shorter.
There was at least 3 or 4 very important points where Khachanov would approach while hitting to Nadal's forehand. Again, lefty. Maybe he forgot about this. Anticipating a backhand from a right-hander, would approach with the hook forehand as a given for Nadal, the curve around forehand, right around the net post or close thereof, absolutely just picked him apart. So tie-break time.
And Khachanov had a chance in the first game. He broke him. Yeah,
tie-break time, the tough got going, and unfortunately, that was not Khachanov. So we have Khachanov now not Khachanov. We have Nadal that will meet Federer tomorrow.
Well,
who you got?
I got Nadal. They're head-to-head. He has Federer. It's 23 wins with 15 to Federer. Federer won the last 5, 2017 in Shanghai, Miami, Indian Wells, Australian Open, all in 2017. Then Basel, Switzerland, 2015. The last time Nadal beat him was the 2014 Australian Open. I think it's in Nadal's turn to win this time.
I disagree with you 1,000%.
Unless his knee is bothering him. By the way, Nadal's won Indian Wells 3 times, where Federer's won 5 times. If Federer wins, he will pass Djokovic. They're both tied 5-5. He will win his 6th Indian Wells and his 101 title. And I think on this side, whoever wins on this side will be your Indian Wells champion.
Has not Roger Federer beaten Rafael Nadal the last 5 times they've played?
Yes, but
5 times. Including the Australian Open final.
Eventually, you're going to lose. Just like maybe I've beaten you 10 times. I'm not saying, I'm just giving a number. Or even Serena or Sharapova. Eventually, you have to have a 1 win there. And I think he'll figure him out. It's not like Federer looked invincible. I think Nadal has a great chance.
Roger Federer will win Indian Wells. He will defend his 1,000 points. He got here last year. Did he win it last year?
He lost it. In 2017, he won the Indian Wells.
And then made it to the final again last year.
And then he won the Indian Wells, yes. And he beat Wawrinka on that one. And then he lost to Juan Martín del Potro last year in 2018. Nadal won last time in 2013. And he beat Juan Martín del Potro in 2013.
Now, speaking about Juan Martín del Potro, we have heard that he's pulled out of tennis for the next multiple months with another knee surgery. Del Potro will lose 1,000 points for not being able to defend his victory last year here. So, therefore, Federer's going to get bumped up nonetheless. Neither here nor there with all that. Roger Federer, as I picked in my predictive draw sheet before this tournament started, will win this tournament. And the road is a lot easier with a Nadal with the suspect knee today. No Djokovic in the picture. And only facing the likes of Raonic and Thiem.
For these guys, if they win, whoever wins, they want to see Thiem on that other side. They'll have a better chance than with Raonic, in my opinion.
They'll sell more tickets if Thiem's on the other side of the net because all Raonic is going to do is drop bombs off the serve and hit a shot or 2.
Personally, I prefer Thiem's game. over Anic. But I'm just saying, if they really want to secure that title, they want to see Thiem on that side instead of a big server. Because it's a guessing game when you hit a big server.
Yeah, but if the guessing game of the big server breaks down and only serves in the 60 percentages like Isner did, he's going to lose.
Nadal owns Thiem. And I'm sure Federer can pick him apart. So whoever wins in that semifinal, to me, will be your Indian Wells champion.
All right, moving forward. Tonight's matches, lock them or leave them. We have Svitolina versus Andreescu. Who you got?
I'm going to go with the 19-year-old. I like the 19-year-old.
Andreescu?
Yeah.
I'm going to go.
I don't think she's going to allow Svitolina to push the ball and just hit it back and hit it back. She's going to be aggressive. She's got nothing to lose. If she wins this, if she wins her semifinal and goes and wins this tournament, it will be her first title ever.
I don't think Svitolina, Andreescu, or who's Kerber playing?
None of them have ever.
None of them.
Bencic. None of them have ever won this title.
Svitolina, or Andreescu has never won this title. I think Kerber has won it, right?
No, she's never.
won it. None of the four semifinals have ever won Indian Wells.
Never.
Okay.
Or even reach a final.
Svitolina versus Andreescu. I'm taking Andreescu as well.
Same here.
Svitolina is a defender, just like Wozniacki, just like
Razwanska,
just a little bit better.
Yeah.
And you know what? Maybe even not. Maybe not even a little bit better. Maybe Svitolina is just as good as Razwanska ever was, or just as good as Wozniacki ever was or still is. I don't like the defensive counterpuncher like the Nadal. I'm not a Nadal fan. That's why Federer's going to whip Nadal's butt. However, I'm going to give the match between Svitolina or Andreescu to Andreescu, and I think Andreescu will win. Big, blow her off the court. Even if Andreescu loses a first set big, getting used to it, I think she wins the second and third easily.
All right, and then the next match will be Belinda Bencic, the 23 seed in this tournament from Switzerland, against Angelique Kerber from Germany, the number 8 seed. That'll be a tough match. Honestly, I don't know who to pick on that match. I like both of them. Before you decide, let me tell you a little bit about Angelique Kerber. She's won 12 WTA titles. She's German, as we know. She was born in Bremen, German, but her mother and father are from Poland.
So she's Polish too.
She's Polish too. She started playing tennis at 3, just like our little
kind of like our fifth son.
Yes, and her maternal grandfather owned an indoor tennis facility in Poznań, Poland.
That makes it
where
easier.
She was able to train, and she has the dual citizenship, German-Polish citizenship.
You know, if I could go into some type of science fiction narrative, if I could go before I was ever birthed on this planet and could say to whoever put me in this,
please have an indoor facility so I can train every day.
I just shot this from the hip. If I could choose one luxury to be born with before I was born, I would say, please let me be born into a place where there is an indoor tennis court.
Yeah, where I can train every day. Yeah. Woo.
Hey, I tell you what.
That's a luxury for me.
That's a luxury. To be born into a family with an indoor tennis court, man, talking about an advantage right off the get-go.
Definitely. That'll be a tough match. I don't know who to pick. I like both of them. Belinda Bencic's been on a roll. Angelique Kerber hasn't won many matches, and I think she's hungry. So I'm going to give it to Kerber.
I'm going to go with Kerber as well. Again, I think Bencic could win and win big. But I said that when Bencic played, and I said she could win. No, I said Bencic could win and win big. Mm-hmm. And this was who she played last. Who did Bencic play last? Pliskova. So we discussed that, and Bencic can win. And she can win big here.
I don't think.
However,
Angelique Kerber has more variety in her game than Pliskova. She can come into the net. She can volley. She can take off the pace. She can.
And she's
play
a lefty.
Defense. She can play defense.
She's a major winner.
Yes.
I think Bencic's had a great run, but I think that run will end here. But maybe not.
Yeah.
But I think it probably will.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the men's double. In the semifinals, you have Lukas Kubat for Poland and Marcelo Melo from Brazil versus Novak Djokovic.
Lucas Kubat.
Yeah, Lucas Kubat. And you have versus Novak Djokovic from Serbia and Fabio Fognini from Italy. So these guys have made it pretty deep into this doubles.
I think Kubat and his partner will beat Djokovic and Fognini.
Well, they should because they're double specialists.
Yeah, they're double specialists.
They should. And whoever wins from this will meet Nikola Mektic from Croatia, and Horacio Ceballos from Argentina.
That's another good team, too. If you enjoy watching doubles, I would love to see the two aforementioned teams square off. No disrespect against Fognini or Djokovic, but
they've done well.
Those two doubles teams, and the two less Djokovic was Kubat and
Melo from Brazil.
Kubat and Marcelo Melo, and the other one was
Nikola Mektic and Horacio Ceballos.
Ceballos.
So you have
they're both
European team up with a Latin American or Spanish.
Well, forget about all that. They're both doubles teams that are deep in the game, and I don't think two.
Well, didn't we hear that one of them couldn't play with their partner, so they just called somebody? And
well, I think one of them was sick or something and had to call someone to come fill in.
Yes.
But nonetheless, we have double specialists taking out people that. Or that are playing with people that are singles or more singles oriented.
Yes.
I don't think that Fognini and Djokovic will win their next doubles match. It's so great.
If they do,
I don't think
it's good for them. And the women's double, you have Barbora Krejcikova from the Czech Republic and Katerina Sienakova from the Czech Republic, the #1 seed in this tournament, versus Elise Bertens from Belgium and Arina Sabalenka from Belarus.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to
the #1 seed.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give it to Sabalenka and Bertens, right?
Yeah,
I'm not gonna give it
like
there.
she told her coach, "Why don't you support me?"
Yeah, it's a different animal. Again, Carla and I, we play both, but sometimes we don't lose very often on the doubles court. But sometimes if we meet we're singles players. We play doubles. I think last time we played doubles, we beat our opponent 6-0. What's up, Nathan, Grandpa, and Kenny? We destroyed them.
He's gonna say it doesn't count.
We destroyed them 6-0. But sometimes if we meet a solid doubles team, we have to adjust for a little while.
Or even pushers.
It's tough. It's a different animal. So I'm going to give the more experienced doubles teams the edge as we move into the finals of this tournament.
Sure.
All right, Carla. So your forecast for the finals of Indian Wells. We've been through this entire tournament.
I'll say Nadal and Raonic.
So you got Nadal and Raonic. I have, by the way, Federer and Thiem. So she's got Nadal playing Raonic with who winning?
Nadal.
I've got Federer playing Thiem with Federer winning. Total opposite.
And then I have Andreescu against Kerber. Kerber winning.
I have the exact same women's final. I have the German, i.e. Polish, Kerber playing the Canadian Andreescu. I think Andreescu might be from elsewhere too.
Canada.
But I think she's Canadian, but I think she
has Romanian blood in her. Yeah.
See, the plot thickens. So I'm going to go with the Canadian/Romanian against the Polish/German, but I'm going to take Kerber to win that match. So I've got Federer winning this tournament, and I have Kerber winning this tournament.
One thing I've learned about all these players is that you must start young to have a chance.
Got to start young.
Yes.
Got to start young.
Yes.
Let's go. All right, real quick ending poll question. Does Serena Williams win another major? I only ask that because I have begun to see maybe some slipping and sliding post little guy, little baby, since Serena has been back. Is it too early to tell if Serena will win another major? I don't think at this point that she will.
I think she will.
All right. Do you think Serena Williams wins another major? Yes or no? We'll put that up as a poll question. That's it. Oh, wait a minute. By the way, if we're going to talk about Serena winning another major, do you think Rafael Nadal or Roger Federer will win another major?
I think so.
Either one.
I think so, sure.
French, Wimbledon.
Especially if fans are claiming that Djokovic's elbow's hurt again. Yeah, sure.
We'll see what happens. Does Serena, Rafael Nadal, or Roger Federer win another major? Father Time's ticking. What's your answers? All right, so that's it, everyone. We're running out of time here. I know no one cares about Carla and I's match results. We did play today. I won the first set 6-3.
That's not true.
I did win the first set 6-3.
I won 6-1, Justin.
And then we left and came back.
And then you won 6-3, and then I won.
No,
okay,
wait.
Story.
Okay, anyway, we played a match. We got out there. I didn't feel like being out there. I was swatting balls around. She won the first.
I was up 3-1.
She won a set 6-1. We went back out to the court. I won the set 6-3. And then I had a match point.
I was up 3-1, and we came back. He said, let's just restart the set. Okay. And then you won 6-3. Anyways, but I won it. He had match point and he couldn't finish it. He couldn't quite choke the opponent.
We played well today. I did have a match point, no matter how many sets you look at.
And I won
Squandered
it
the match
7-2
point.
in the tiebreaker. Thank you very much.
Much love.
Serena Sharapova.
Much love, everyone. Take care. Have a great day, great evening. We will see you tomorrow. Don't forget, Miami is upcoming. Is the microphone better or worse? Check microphone 1, 2. What is this? Let's go. Okay. All right. Thanks so much. Please subscribe to our channel. Click a like below. Give us a thumbs up. We will see you tomorrow. And as Carla says into the brand new microphone.
Adios.
Adios.
And I'm the champion.